Alex Jones.
All right, we have a couple more hours to go, but off towards the west, some of those thunderstorms are starting to make their way in, and they should be arriving sometime around sunset, if not overnight. So we're on the lookout for a quick round of thunderstorms if it doesn't decide to go around. Now, we've seen an impressive cloud cover all day and a pretty dynamic circulation forming over the Concho Valley, and that's what's keeping us trapped in those perfect temperatures all day in those lower 90s, going from those 90s yesterday all the way down into those lower 70s, fighting back and forth with a little bit of warm air this morning, then more cool air mixed way. And with that circulation, you can see how we've been going back and forth in those mid to upper 80s all day. So we're on the lookout for a little bit of moisture to make its way in. A couple more degrees to go before we drop right back down into those 70s. 87 in San Angelo, everybody else in a combination of lower 90s and upper 80s across the entire area. You can see the cooler air is trying to slide its way in just west of Ozona. 95 in Robert Lee, 90 down there in Junction, looking like 7 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, but we're on the lookout for a little bit of thunderstorm activity. Now, dew points are in those 60s and 70s, while humidity indices are in those 50s, so definitely on the way up. And by tonight, we'll see how much they make their way up into that saturation point. Now, Moisture Tracker has been showing you where we're keeping our eye on the concentrations of orange hovering around the Gulf Coast, but we're seeing that interesting dynamic pattern shape up in the upper atmosphere with those low clouds, and that's going to let us know, hey, monsoon season might be showing up early near Arizona. And what does that mean for us here in the Concho Valley? Keep your eye on this high pressure as it starts to spread from areas like New Jersey and the Carolinas, Virginia, all the way out towards Arizona and parts of Baja California. Now, that's going to keep a lot of that colder weather primarily to the north, but as we start to make our sort of trek closer towards transition season, we'll see what that means for hurricane season and monsoon season. You can see how they all sort of work together. Now, water vapor imagery is showing you the circulation that's been forming over us all day. Usually it's the other direction, sort of that clockwise formation. So we're not really seeing that dynamic setup, but lets us know monsoon season is absolutely erupting across New Mexico. That is what I'm trying to say. Now, taking a good look at severe weather outlook, just sort of trying to track where the severe weather is primarily hanging to the north. Again, that high pressure that's just sitting over the southern portion of the United States. Take a good look at the surface. Whole lot of flash flooding just popping off around New Mexico with, and again, another round of high winds across Wyoming. That's working in tandem with that low pressure system off the west coast and the high pressure that is currently sitting over us. Take a good look at this dynamic pattern. It's going to work together with the circulation over the Concho Valley and the one that is just pushing over Florida right now. Now, I'm going to zoom out across Texas, but by tonight, we'll get a closer look at the radar. I only have a couple more hours. It's popping off right now. It's currently developing. It'll make its way in, but you see how it goes around the Concho Valley overnight. So let's go ahead and be flash flood ready. That's making sure some of those important documents are somewhere dry. I know we've been cleaning up for the past couple of days, but let's just be safe in case. Now, as we get closer towards the weekend, still seeing that on-off rain shower pattern around the panhandle, but you see how they try to fight their way in with the circulation slowly working its way in from the coastal regions, and it will try to push us up into those triple digits. So tonight, I'm tracking some of those overnight thunderstorms that are currently developing just west of us right now as we go all the way back down into those lower 70s. Then tomorrow, a good run of those mid-90s, but you see that afternoon thunderstorm pattern that it's trying to force us into. So let's just be flash flood ready because you can definitely feel how humid it is out there. Now, as we get closer towards the weekend, I keep talking about it. It's also clear the shelter. We're going to keep our eye on some of those warmer temperatures as we hover around those triple digits. I know yesterday I said it would be 100 degrees, but we're going to track the heat either way. As we get closer towards the weekend, we're still holding on to the rain, but we're going to drop right back down into those lower 90s while those overnight lows just stay in those lower 70s. Stay tuned. We'll break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.